Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to round three of the IndyCar 2025 Championship here at Sim Racing Online. This is Series 1 of the Liberty Footwear World Series, consisting of four individual series throughout the year in the chase for the Cup. So, with no further ado, we are at Round America for round three. Beautiful track. Uh, you can see as we sit here waiting for quali to start, there's a couple things we could probably go through, and want to give you an idea of what we're racing at here, the track, as we are at the infamous Road America. What a great place this is! Very historic. This is it's a motorsport course located near Elkhart Lake in Wisconsin. It's hosted races since the 50s, and it currently hosts the IndyCar Series and IMSA Sports Car Championship, Sports Car Club of America, World Challenge America Trans Am Series, some Supercross Moto America. I mean, this place has everything. Been going on for a long time. And quick fun fact: this is one of the only original tracks that has not been altered since its first day. So this track is in its original form as it was on day one. Really cool stuff there. We will be racing today in these beautiful Indy cars. As you can see, there's a little info for you. You either got the Chevy engine or the Honda. The teams can pick between which ones they want. You can see the available points and how that breakdown is going to go. Give you a good idea of what's going on there. And then, of course, what we all want to know is who in the heck is winning this thing. So let's have a look here at the leaders. You can see Costas Cantadores from MRG Racing is leading this championship with 70 points, with Matej Dascobler, who's independent, at 66, just 4 points back. And then we have Nick Westy from Black Cat, just a couple of points behind him, with Philip Pilcher from Team Solitude at 61 points, and then Robin Taylor, the other Black Cat Motorsports teammate, at 51. So if you've watched any of the previous races, you'll remember that Taylor and Westy were just all over the place with speed. They were just wiping everybody off the track. So to see them down a little bit, it makes for some exciting racing. So hopefully here today we are going to see some good stuff. With that said, let's get a look at some of the racing that is going on right now. As these guys are just getting through with a warm-up here, let's get a look at some of these times. And let's have a look at Freddie Howell, who does have the fastest lap on track now, right now with a 1:45.4. So let's get a look at him as he's heading through that. Some really epic turns and places here on this iconic track. As you can see, Fred here, he's heading up to the carousel, which is the 8, 9, 10 section, which comes up to, as he makes it through here, he's starting his way into the carousel. And then right after the carousel is what is called the kink. This turn 11, really a high-speed turn right here that can make or break your lap time and your ability to pass. As you get through the kink, you can either keep your foot in it, or sometimes you might have to slightly lift a little bit depending on your entry, but races can be won and lost right there, and that's part of the track. In fact, it's such a epic place. They used to have a S-turn right in front of it, or a chicane, just to kind of slow people down before the kink, but then they decided, let's get rid of that. Let's just leave it wide open for these guys and let them tear it up. So the kink, keep your eye on that place as we see what Freddie can do here. 1:45.4, and he betters his time by a few tenths. Look at that, 1:45.1. So Freddie Howell is the car to beat as we speak. Some other guys out on track. Let's get a look at Jacob Smythe. He's out there. Currently in 8th. Having a good practice session. Some other mentionables. Let's just get down and get a look at everybody. In fact, just to have a good look at who's out here, I will give you a little bit of look at some of the drivers. Now, not all of them are here today, but you will see some of the drivers in this series. We have 18 signed up for today, so hopefully we'll get a full grid of 18. Really good stuff here for Mr. Smythe. Get a look at his onboard here. You see, it's a little bit overcast today, so as Smythe takes the scenic route at the last turn there as he's bringing it into the pits. So not a very fruitful time for viewing. Let's take a look down at Philip Kutcher, who does find himself up there in the points. Where is Philip? Or are we going to quali? Nope. Yes, we are. That is the difference. So we are going to quali. So get a little bit of love there as we get ready for the qualification to take place. So this will be 15-minute quali. I believe that it is going to be private. I can't be sure of that. As we take a look around some of the parts of this track, some of these more treacherous parts, we'll get our little slideshow here. Here's up to the bridge. Some of the 2D fans. Speedville, this is going into that carousel. This is probably the most famous part of this track is this back sector 3 here, out of the carousel, into the kink, down through Kettle Bottoms. There you see the kink. This is right into Kettle Bottoms here, and then here we are back at the start finish. So with that said, the drivers are out. We are on our way to quali, so let's get the tower up and see what the heck we got. So we'll keep ourselves focused here on Freddie as he is the fastest on track. Let's just see what happens as he's on his warm-up lap here. Kind of curious as to what tires these guys are on. I'm sure they're all on the softs, which is the red tire or the alternate. So there you can see Marek seems to be on the primary, and Da Silva, Giles is on the primary as well, but not currently out on track. I do not think so. Here is a good look at Freddie going into the carousel there. He's going to outlap. He's kind of take it easy, get some heat. But right here, this is really a crucial spot. You've got to set the kink up just right. You can keep your foot in it. Let's see what he does. Indeed, keeping his foot in it. And that is the key to a hot lap here at Road America. So we'll keep an eye on that spot. And if you have to lift at all there, you're in danger of losing many tenths. And it is indeed, as I predicted, a private qualifier. She will not run into any other traffic on this out lap. So he's going to be coming across to start a hot lap. We will have a look. Let's see if we could get a little bit of info on his driving inputs here as he takes this. There we go. Works 1, 2, 3, and then a little bit of a kink. They call it turn 4 down the moraine sweep, but it's barely a turn as you head down into turn 6. Really tight turn 6, heading up the hill under the bridge and getting ready to set up for the carousel. Goes. He's got a little bit sketchy there. Let's see how he does in the kink. Keep an eye on that throttle. One little quick pump there. Nicely done, Freddie. Kettle Bottoms into Canada corner. And then Thunder Valley right here. Another great, iconic spot into the Bill Mitchell Bend, which has turned 13. And then around 14 and up the hill. So he's going to come across. Oh, look, that Scobbler has put a 45 up. Westy's just behind him, and here comes Freddie. And he moves himself into third, but Descobbler has put the quickest lap on for quali. Let's get a look at who's coming across us. Where is Mr. Taylor? Let's find Taylor's in the pits. Here he comes. All right, let's find Caitlin Penny. Excuse me. And we'll switch it back to the qualifying boxes to see what the heck. A little bit of a mistake there. And if you guys caught Caitlin's last broadcast on this AC60 series, epic broadcast, really fun series. Those are going on every other Thursday. So if you're interested in that, you should take a look at our schedule. We've got some really good racing coming up, including the first of our LMU series will be live broadcasts. 6 days from today, a week from yesterday, will be round one of the LMU GTE series. That will also be live broadcast on SRO YouTube TV. And that's going to be our first run with LMU here at Sim Racing Online. So I encourage you to tune in or sign up. I think we've got 18 drivers as we speak. So hopefully to keep that grid getting fuller and fuller. And that is a week from Saturday. We also have the historic Porsche races coming up. Those are, it's Penny loses it and finds herself keeping it off the barrier. Nice job, Caitlin, to keep it off those barriers. So, yeah, there's the end of that lap. Let's go down here and find a couple other guys. Michael LaBelle. Get a good look at his car. We'll just kind of go up there. We got Ben Summers in that Dr. Pepper livery. Dr. Pepper Fueled Motorsports. And then we have Lauren Martin, who, if you watched 2 weeks ago, had some really great battles going on. It was some really good racing. So Descobbler finds himself still up there at the top of that 145.67. Freddie Hell in third still. Westy's in the pits currently in the second spot. And Caitlin Penny, who we saw spin out, is probably going out for another one. Let's find Jean Vander Ries, our host. He is coming out for an out lap. We'll put up a time. As you can see, he's got a 147. He's a little bit off the pace on his first attempt. So perhaps heading out now with those. You can see the red, softer tire. So he'll be heating up his tires for a run. Let's check on our Randy Marek, one of our co-sponsors, along with the Liberty Footwear, kind enough to sponsor these broadcasts and this series. So let's give a big shout out to them. You can check their website. In the details of this video is the link to their website to do some shopping. And Robin Taylor, let's check on Taylor, is out, and I think he is in Sector 1, so he is green in Sector 1. Let's just follow Robin here because he is known to be pretty quick and has led a lot of these races. As he's green in Sector 1 and 2. Let's just see what he does as he comes up through that last section of Bill Mitchell Bend into turn 14 to head up the hill. Let's see what he can do. All right, he's going to come across. And there it is, 146.4. So that moves him up, not where he would like to be, but he does move up a little bit, so that's helpful. And I wanted to get Randy back on Randy's lap here as he's going to cross the line. Let's see what Marek can do. Does not improve. So, or does he? Currently in 11th, just some 2.2 off as he starts another rip lap. As he's out and about, let's see where Westy is. I believe Westy's in sector. Okay, Westy's appears to be on an out lap. So here he goes. We'll have to come back, keep an eye on him in about a minute. We'll check back with him. I wanted to have a look at Mark Hightree. He's parked, eating a sandwich, and Indycar Dog is out. Or Karadag, excuse me for the enunciations of these names. If you can help, like Giles helped me out with his name, pronouncing it right. You know, we're over here in the U.S., so we don't have these really cool European accents and have no clue or idea how to pronounce any of this stuff. So it just comes out, what you hear is what you get. So, yes, that is the situation. Stephen Wyndham, let's take a quick look at Stephen. There he is in the Aero McLaren. Excuse me, he's coming across, and he doesn't quite break out of the 150s, a 152, so just off the pace a little bit. But meanwhile, let's get back to Westy because he's going to be coming through here. He's on that last third sector now as he's coming through into that Canada corner. Up through the Bill Mitchell bend. Let's see how he handles this into turn 14. Really tricky right here. You have to be right on. Not too bad, not too bad. He keeps all four tires on the hard stuff. And let's see what he can do here. He's purple in sector 1, and he does not take the pole. I think he improved a little bit on his time. Almost into the 45s, just by those 9/100s. So great effort there as we are down into the last 5 minutes of this qualify. Let's get a look at Kels De Silva, one of our custom painters. As he's going ahead and bring it into the pits. So Mr. Jones is also in the pits. So where were we? Let's see. Is Hightree is in the pits. Marek is back out there. Getting close. Head into the Canada corner. Do. Into turn 14. Entry is everything here on this last turn. And he's calling it as well. So perhaps coming in for a fresh set of rubber. Whereas Philip Pilcher is out there, and he's green in sector 1. So let's do a little ride along with Philip as he's going through the carousel. Let's listen for a lift. No, sir. He's shifting gears. He's keeping on it. Nicely done. This could be a good lap for Philip. He is green and green in sectors 1 and 2, so it could better his time. Oh, and he loses it, and he's into the wall, and heavens to Betsy. Oh, my gosh. Well, a little whiplash, a little neck injury. He's leaving some parts. It looks like he's having a little yard sale there. So that was a really ripping lap there for Philip, but he finds himself on the wrong end of that deal. So, oh, my goodness. But we live for another day, and greatest thing about sim racing. Okay, Karadag, green in sector 1. He's making his way through the back section. Let's see what happens here. As he enters sector 3, here he comes heading up to Canada corner. We're under 2 minutes remaining. And that 145.2 now by Bajaj is sitting on pole with Nick Westy right behind him. Oh, and Ayrton loses it on that turn 4. It's going to be so treacherous right there. So that probably destroyed any chances he had of getting up, and he does not improve. But let's get a look at Costas. I think Costas is out. He is challenging for the pole, so let's see where he is. He's on an outlap. He's going to have, looks like he'll be in time to cross that line before time runs out. He's got just a minute left. He's making his way into sector 2 here through heading into the carousel. So who else has a threat here? Westy's in the pits. Where is Taylor? Taylor is also out. So let's see if Taylor's on a timer. Yeah, Taylor. Oh, then we catch Tyler just in time to put it in the dirt, and that's going to end his effort for a pole. So he's going to find himself staying in 6th. So let's get back to Costas. Stolen out. That Freddie Hell, who did have that fastest time in practice, and you can see he's yellow in 1 and 2, so he is not going to improve. So we could have our leaderboard as we see it. Who's threatening? Let me see. Caitlin Penny is in the pits, currently in 5th. We got Vandergeest out there, but let's check on Costas because he's got to be getting close to start a lap. So he will probably have the last lap with 1 second. Is he going to make it? I don't think he's going to make it. He does not cross the line in time to get another lap. So with that said, let's find Vandergeest. Vandergeest did get across the line, so this lap will count. He's making his way through the end of Sector 1. They're currently in 7th. So entering Sector 2 here, this beautiful section of track. The hurry downs and the moraine sweep and the carousel. Really a nice little section here. I believe there's a Pilcher, Lauren Martin, and Giles De Silva are still out on track, so we might keep an eye on them, but I think Vandergeest is going to be the first to cross the line. I want to, while he's in this back section, let's take a quick look at Matej because he is purple, but he was yellow. This is his last lap. It did count too, so let's see. He is currently our leader. Is he going to better his time? 143, 144, 145. He does not, so let's get back to Vandergeest as he's now coming up to the line. Getting ready. Catches a little curb on turn 14 as he's coming up the hill. Let's see what he can do. He lost a little time in sector 2. So let's see what happens. And he does not improve. Freddie Hell is still out there. He's got a chance to move up. Can he do it? He does not. He stays where he is. And that leaves Kardag yellow in sector 1. So probably not going to better his time, but he could have a ripping back section. So here we will see. As he's heading through the kettle bottoms into the Canada corner for the last time in quali. Oh, and that's it. Hello, how you doing? And that's the end of that session. So good heavens to Betsy. What are we doing? All right. Here we go. So the warm-up begins. Let's see what I can do here for us. There we go. We got a pretty good view of that. All right. With that in mind, while we wait, let me set the grid here. All right. So I want to, again, big thanks to all of our sponsors. And with that said, I want to remind you who our sponsors are. That would be Liberty Footwear. Whether it's for work, play, hiking, casual, these guys will do it all. They'll take custom footwear to the next level with a Liberty Footwear. Make sure to give our sponsors a shout head on over and make sure you tell them that Randy sent you. Randy Marek from MRG Racing helped put all this whole World Series together. So give these guys a visit, support them while they support us. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and being a part of this awesome racing here at Sim Racing Online. So there you have it. All right, so quali's over. The race is about to begin. We are in the warm-up session. Let's see if we got some takers. Looks like we got a few guys out on track, ready to go. So these guys, I would imagine, are now out with a full load of fuel and their starting tires. As you can see, Philip is on the red tires. Navigating their way through. Philip, here is Costas. And it looks like Costas would appear to be, yep, he's on the reds as well. As we count down the last couple minutes of practice. We still haven't seen Ed Jones out on track, which is how he rolls. He will be out. He'll start at the back of the pack, and I guarantee you he'll be in it at the end. Always is, you know, safety over sanity. And Matej out there, our pole sitter, heating it up, also on the red. So it would appear these guys are all going to start on the softer tires with the exception of a few. Oh, so he takes out a little bit of a road sign that somebody must have hit and got in the way there. Who else we got out there? Here it is, guys. Gilles. He told me how to pronounce his name, but this French stuff, man, I just cannot get it. They got too many dang silent letters. So once I hear it a few times, I'll get it. But you need to jump into TeamSpeak and say it to me. We are missing one of our great drivers today. Tony Calvitier is out today due to real-life work schedule. So he'll be back in 2 weeks for the next round. And speaking of the next round, let's have a look at that. We are now currently at round 3 of Road America, and we will be going to Laguna Seca on the 23rd of February. So that is going to be an exciting run. We know how the ups and downs of Laguna Seca are. We've got corkscrew and very tight. IndyCar does race there, so they're no strangers to this. So yeah, that should be good. All right. So just a few tidbits. I was looking at the history of this track with IndyCar, and believe it or not, in 1998, Alex Zanardi drove the Renard 981 to a 141.8. Just a ripping lap. And that was back in 98. And then the closest Will Power did was in 2023, 2 years ago, had a 142.892 in the Dallara DW12. So I believe we're in the DW18 for this series, but that's a little fun fact for you that those fastest laps, obviously back in 98, things were a little more crazy, not quite as safe, let's say, but yeah, it's crazy stuff. So as we get ready, the clock is ticking and we are about ready to go. Session is over. We are going to be moving into the race start. We will have a formation lap.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
It's going to be a manual formation lap. which will be, as I try to find a shot that doesn't look in the windows here. These guys are taking the grid. So the manual formation lap is going to put everybody at a pace all the way around, and the race is going to begin at the final turn 14 coming up the hill. It'll be green light. It's on. Crazy business. Everybody, let's see if they can make it through a lap. It'll be great. So when the buzzer goes here and the flag drops, they will not be racing. So they're going to be pacing themselves around. I'll give you a good look here of who's coming in. So, as they're taking the way here, as you're starting, there is Matej Scobbler in first, Nick Westy second, Cautious Scott is the third, Freddie Hill bringing up fourth place. You see fifth is Caitlin Penny, followed by Robin Taylor and Jean Vander Geest. And the corn-fed Randy Marek in eighth. Jacob Smythe, Philip Pilcher, Mark Hytree, and Lauren Martin bring up the next into the 12th position. And then there's our Jane Kertog, Jelisa Silva, Michael Lavelle, and Stephen Wyndham, 16th. And we do have a full group with Ed Jones and Freddie Hell is showing as a DNF right now. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But we will get to the bottom of it. Maybe he had a disconnect. Don't know. But they are heading into it. We're going to give you the track map here to follow along. As they head through the carousel. For the last time at ease, the next time around, they will be in anger. Gotta look at this nice looking grid. Yeah, I'm showing Freddie Hell as DNF on my data, but that doesn't mean he's not in the race. But I see a car in the pits there. You're getting ready to fight here as they're coming through Cannon Corner. All right, this is it, turn 14. We're going to go green right here on the exit, and we are racing at Indycar Lake as everybody disappears. Not cool. What in the heavens of Betsy just happened? Hello, and we're back. With a slight alien abduction there, but here we go. As we cross the line, you can see Nick Westy has taken the lead over Matej Escobar with Thompson right behind him. As he goes wide in another exchange, as Matej gets back in the lead. You can see Cost Inspector trying to get a spot. Good heavens. The silent alien abduction start, we miss it, but we did get it from the line where it actually really happened. So, this group has made it through. They're heading down the strike. Let's see the second group behind them. Hanging in there with Vander Geest, Marek, and Smythe. All in tow. And back into 11th place, there's Ertane, Martin, and the group making it through. So it looks like everybody's gotten through so far. We have one other car out, 17th, which is Stephen Wyndham, who's in the pits already. Perhaps he kind of drive. I don't know, or he crashed out and went straight to the pits. But here is the battle for the lead. We got Caitlin Penny in the mix up here. Caitlin Penny now in third. As Westy finds his way through Matej and is in the lead of this race for lap one as they make it through the carousel. Head into the King. This is where it gets tricky. This is where high speed. This is the fastest part of the track besides the main straight. as these three are battling for the lead. Oh, and Westy gets the switch, and it's going to push it out with Caitlin Benny. That's going to be the lead of this race as Westy and Mataj have a little bit of a push session there, pushing Caitlin out in front as she is now the leader of this race with a nice little gap. Woo, just behind them, we have Costas, finds himself down, back to fifth. And the car coming out of the pits, so is that Stefan Wyndham as he's coming out of the pits, so there he's got to make his way into traffic, coming right out into this hornet's nest of cars coming through. As wisely decides to let me out of the way, everybody. Okay, let's get back to this leader. There is Caitlin Penny. She's got that gap on Westy, and Westy has nothing but revenge on his mind now. He's got to get through, and he is caught all the way up, and he's going for the pass on the outside. Over the inside, Penny holds that inside line. They have a little bit of contact. Westy gets to the outside. Great stuff, and Mataj is initiative, and Westy the business right behind him. So these guys are not moving around here. Down to the range loop into this tricky little section. Head into the carousel. Man, okay, so they've settled down a little bit, but there's so many high-speed parts of this track. Let's take a look back here. We got a little kind of spread out all the way down to fifth place. Here is Costas and fifth. So you can see that group as you look at your track map. They're pretty tightly matched up there, keeping it real. Back here in 10th place, we got Filter in 9th, trying to keep LaBelle and Summers behind him. And then Costas now with Taylor. Taylor looking for the shot. He's got the inside line. Taylor's trying to defend. Costas says loses the Costas. He hits the wall, loses the wing. Oh my goodness. Taylor, the Jeep's thrown out, trying to get his way out. He's got to just make it back. He's got a long way to go to back and get around to those pits. If he can get it back out there. Oh, he's in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. What? Keep it off. Try not to ruin it. Can he make it back? Oh, it's devastating for Taylor. Well, good on this punch. But meanwhile, up at the top, we've got some pressure. Westy close that gap. And just behind them at 6th and 7th, we've got a pretty good battle going on here with Kurtag and Smythe. Smythe defending as they're looking for a way around, and Filter's just behind him. Meanwhile, Vandergeest finds himself happily in 4th place with no threats around him. There is Vandergeest driving very clean as Westy's keeping the cap with Caitlin Penny, who has got her hands full now. Oh, the 8th place car, Costas. Costas is in the wall. Costas could be out. Costas got a hold, the kink got a hold of Costas, and like I was saying earlier, that kink could be a deadly area, and it looks like that's where it took place. Hard to say, but meanwhile, Summoners is putting the pressure on LaBelle. As he's looking for a way through, they come up the straight. Let's see if we can gain on him. And just ahead of them is Ertain and Jacob Smythe. If they're going nose to nose, and Ertain goes in front. Smythe lets him go. Probably a wise decision as Ertain takes over 5th place. And Westy has gotten around Penny. Westy and Penny are racing into the tight turn of the fix. Westy to the outside. Caitlin is back in the lead. These guys are knuckle and joint right here. Wow. Okay, here's Westy's view. head into the moraine sweep, turn 5, 6, getting ready, 7, and to hurry down into the carousel. And you can see in the mirror, right there with the pressure, is Matej and Westy are fighting, they're duking it out. Westy gets the better end of that dust deal as they find their way fighting through the grass. As Penny says, yeah, you guys just keep battling back there. I am going to just get a gap if I can. So nicely done there. See Westy. See Matej just keeping the pressure on. Looks like he's able to pull away up the hill a little bit. As they live for another lap. And you can see Penny out in front there. So the fighting between Westy and Scobler has given the gap. Meanwhile, back here, pretty spread out. Let's take a look at Taylor, who's out of this race, and Kostas is out of this race. Two hopeful drivers. High Tree in 16th. It looks like he's okay. He has all the parts on his car. So whatever happened to him, he'll find himself down in 16th. He is racing clean right now with no threats in sight. So he's in survival mode. Meanwhile, 6th place Smythe with Pilcher just behind him. But Smythe, he's up in the grass a little bit, and then open the door. And Pilcher gets that spot, takes it right away from Jacob Smythe, who just got the wrong end of that deal, got it a little bit wrong, gets the curb, put it in the grass, and that's what happens here. Meanwhile, the battle for second continues. The Scobler is breathing down Westy's neck. Penny continues to hold the lead. And you see Vandergeest is by himself there in 4th place. If you look at your track map up there in the right-hand corner, you can see that 4th place car going through the carousel. Not to worry, but then just behind him, you have Mike, Pilcher, and Caradoc all battling for that 5th spot. So 5th, 6th, and 7th are all within a hand grip of each other. And meanwhile, back in the pointy end with this battle for 2nd place. See what happens up the straight here. We know Westy has that amazing speed. Let's see if Matej has anything for Westy here. It looks like that Westy, known for his pace, probably has a lower wing setting. And somebody else is off of there. Who is that off in turn 1? That is Mike High Tree, I believe. High Tree to regain himself. I believe that was him. Tough to tell. He is now in 15th with Taylor being out, and as soon as he gets around one top, he will take over 14th. There's Stephen Winham, still in it, currently in 13th. And then 12th is Lauren Martin. She's got it by himself. And then Ed Jones, what did I tell you about Eddie? Here he is, currently in 9th, so he has found his way to the top 10 and battling. And meanwhile, up here with Tesh, he has the battle for second. Through the carousel. So this is quite, with lower wing, Matej might have a little advantage on these twisty parts, but as you can see, as soon as they get to the straights and Westy can put his foot down, he seems to be able to pull away. But I'm only guessing at that. I suppose the top 3 make it 3. You see the gap is closing to Penny up there. Meanwhile, 5th and 6th, there's a good race here as we got Ertain takes a little bit wide, it gets a little bit of grass, that's going to ease it up for Phillip, make it a little bit easier for him. This high-speed part of the track. And that is Eddie Jones is just back behind them here, fighting for the 8th spot with Ben Sumners in that Dr. Pepper River, and it looks like Jones is going to get through and finds his way into 8th position. So Jones moves up yet another spot as the leaders are coming into traffic. So we got lap traffic here for the first time. That is, I believe, the 12th place car of Lauren Martin. Indeed, that is Lauren as the leaders go zipping by. And Caitlin Penny now finds herself in second as Wesley has retaken the lead in this race. So Penny's short-lived lead has expired, and Mataj still back there. And of course, just behind these guys now is Curtin and Filter battling. But Caitlin's on Wesley's heels right here. Let's see what can happen here as they're going to head into the carousel. Caitlin's not just smooth now. You can see he's got a little bit of advantage there, I think, in the turn. I'm guessing that Wesley's got a little bit lower wing than Penny and Mataj. But Penny's front of the battle. She's got the nose out front. She's on the inside, but she's going to be on the outside. So, oh, she's back. Oh my goodness. Wesley's been hit. Caitlin's been nicked. Wow. What happened to Wesley? Wesley has lost his wing. He's going to have to head it into the pits. Wow, that looked like incidental contact. They were so close and so tight. I think it was just not enough room for two cars in there. And Wesley got the bad end of that deal. Oh my gosh. That's going to put Matej in the lead. And the gap is growing. High Tree is also off and perhaps out. So Road America is taking its toll on these drivers as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars out, with Marek also in the pits for repairs. So, wow, this is crazy business. How close to the pits are Wesley's has made it into pit road. So if Nick can get in there and get that thing flexed, he's still in pretty good position if he can get out of the pits in time. He's going to start dropping as Vandergeest comes also in the pit. That's going to move everybody up. Wesley's going to be dropping. So Mataj out front. Look at the huge gap now in the second. Man, that's what happens when we have incidents. But we do have a battle for second place here with Penny and Pilcher. Pilcher currently in second. Penny coming to the inside again and makes the move and gets that second place away from Pilcher, who inherited those spots after the mix-up. I'm wondering if Penny has any damage at all. Let's see if we can get it on board with Penny. That's what I'm looking for. Let's get on the wheel. Looks like it's straight. She appears to be okay. I don't see any existing damage from that mix-up. It looked like it was just one of those deals, man, where it was just the slightest touch is all it took, and you saw the rest. So Marek still in the pits. I'm hoping he can get out. It's showing him as preparing, but he is not out yet. So there's your leader, Mataj, way out front. Oh my gosh, he's got almost a sector of a gap. So much for the Pointy End Racing after those incidents. Of course, he still does have to pit. Anything can happen. We've got plenty of time left in this race. We are just 15 minutes in. Wow. All right. So Eddie Jones currently in 6th now. After Vandergeest pit stop, Vandergeest is back out. Giles in that beautiful sim racing online, De Silva finds himself in 11th, and then back up to Smythe. We got a little bit of a bout here with the Marek boys. Jacob Smythe looking to get that 4th spot away from Ertan Ketterlag, who is on his eye on Pilcher just in front. So we have a really good battle here at the for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Penny has a little bit of a gap on 3rd place, but 4th and 5th are pretty tight as we are focused on now. Meanwhile, Wesley's back out and back at it. So Wesley only dropped, 8, 9 spots from 2nd to 1st down to 10th. So he is still in the top 10. So hopefully his car is in good shape. Let's have a look. Get on the wheel. After repairs, it looks like he's in good shape. So let's not count him out, because anything can happen. As you can see, this can be quite treacherous here at Road America. Back up to the 5th place battle. There is their time. Dog rounding turn 14 to head up the hill. See if we can get a spot behind him. There it is. Smite. That's a little loud. We are sitting right on top of the engine right there. So, yeah. Gets a little loud. Meanwhile, Wesley is going to put some screws to Vandergeest here. Oh, Vandergeest has a little bit of an off, keeping it together, John. Oh, and he does a little bit of lawn maintenance and finds himself losing that spot to Wesley. But he does live to see another day. So, a little code brown there for Vandergeest. As Wesley was just putting the screws to him. Oh my goodness. Woo. And unfortunately, High Tree is now out of the race as well. And Marek is still showing in the pit, so I don't know what could be going on with Marek. But it doesn't show up DNF yet, so let's hang on to that. Meanwhile, Smith is looking to get this spot from Ayrton. As they're heading into the carousel. Reddy's got a good look here. Oh, he loses a little bit, gets a little slippery. See if he can catch up. Looks like he's closing in a little bit there. As they get into this Canada Corner Thunder Valley section. He looks to the inside. But Ertan is very good on the defense here as they head through Thunder Valley up into the 13 and 14 section and around that turn 14 up the hill. Let's see what's good Smite that from here. Put the gaps to the next cars now. As he's looking for a move on the inside. He's got the pace. Can he get it? He's got position. And he's going to look. Can he hold it in? He's got the inside spot. So he does maintain that path. Smite taking over through the Moraine sweep into 6-7. Into the hurry down. Head for the hairpin turn 8 into the carousel. So great pass there by the MRG, Reddy Smythe. Or Jacob Smythe. Reddy Hell is out of the race, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, we got a battle for 9th with Wesley and LaBelle. Wesley's trying to move his way back up, currently in 9th, looking to take yet another spot away as he's closing in on LaBelle. Let's see what happens here at the King. Looks like Michael has pretty good pace there, but it's coming to this. He's going to the inside. Let's everybody get out of this in one piece. It looks like Wesley's going to climb. He's digging and flying as LaBelle takes it a little bit wide on the pass and finds himself out in the dirt a little bit, but he has maintained and regained. So Wesley moving his way back. Ben Summers is his next victim, but he is a ways ahead. So we won't see that happen for a while. Just about half a straightaway ahead is Summers. So with Wesley's pace, it'll take a few laps, but I believe he can get it as we have another car coming through some of the lap traffic. Let's get a quick glimpse here. That is Kurt Dog in 5th. So that was a battle for position as Jones finds himself now in 5th place. Nice work, Mr. Jones. All the way up from starting dead last down into the top 5 is Ed Jones. Nicely done. Vandergeest now finds himself in 10th. He's still in the top 10. And he's got LaBelle in front of him there, as you can see, just ahead of him. And Erjan is right in the middle of Summers and Ed Jones. And then Westy's not too far behind those two. There is Summers in that Dr. Pepper livery. Currently in 7th. Vandergeest and LaBelle have a little bit of a battle going here. He has found the tail end of Michael LaBelle and gets around him and gets another spot back. So Vandergeest takes over 9th place with a brilliant move there. As LaBelle finds himself falling back a little bit in the grass, so just a little bit off pace perhaps is Michael. But yet he is still a top 10 survivor. So meanwhile, Westy, what happened here? Westy got ahead. Westy has got around Erjan, so Erjan is going into the pit. So the first pit stops for Erjan as he comes in, perhaps to change tires. We do not know. But LaBelle and Vandergeest coming into turn 1. You can see the gap there as John is starting to run away for that position. All right, so we don't have a lot of action at this point in the race with just over 1 hour remaining, 66 minutes to go. Oh, as Giles goes off, hits the barrier. It looks like he's still in one piece in that beautiful chrome and blue livery. That is a good looking car. But Kurdog gets out away from him now. And Westy's next victim here is going to be Ben Summers. Was that he just left in the dust. So Westy is on a mission. He's now got himself back up to 7th. Meanwhile, you can see the leader, Rataj, it's just a Sunday drive now for Rataj. Caitlin as well has a pretty good grip on 2nd place. And then Pilcher, not too much out of it, still within closing distance if he can get it together. And then there's the 4th place, Jacob Smythe. All just up to hitting your marks now as Summers and Westy has gotten around Summers, so Summer has something to say about it. Trying to come back on him, but as we all know, that the pace of Westy, it's going to be hard to catch him once he gets through. So after the incident with Penny, he's found himself just 1 spot away from the top 5 again. So that's some really good racing right there. That Dr. Pepper. Meanwhile, Jones, who is in 5th place, is the next in line for Mr. Westy, and he's got him right here. He's already caught him as they come up the hill into turns 5 and 6. Turn down, this is called the hurry down into turn 8. Tight lefty to put you into the carousel. And this is where Westy might have his way. A little bit of throttle management there, but you can see he's gaining on him, he's catching him. Is he going to go for the inside? He does, and he gets the spot. And Ed just wisely lets him go. Really not his race at this point in time. He's smart enough to know that anything in the top 10 is a win today. Speaking of that, we got Vandergeest in 8th position. Oh, and then ninth behind him is Lavelle. These guys are just all clean of any traffic at this point in time. As you can see, everybody's pretty much spread out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 cars out. It's showing Marek as in the pits, but I don't believe that he is active. I'm going to do a quick run on him here. Yeah, he's parked. So Marek is out. It's just not showing him as DNF yet. And there is your second place car, Caitlin Penny. Heading into the carousel. Got the 7th place, Ben Summers. Lightly catching Mr. Jones. I believe these guys' paces speak for themselves, so I think they're kind of, you know how these races work out, you kind of find yourself in the spot that you should be by the first, 30, 40 minutes based on your pace. That doesn't include incidents and the what-if factors, which definitely have come into play with that tragedy that happened between Penny and Westy that really broke up that front group of some really nice racing that was going on there. But we will see what happens now as some of the cars are pitted and some are yet to pit. We'll add that to the auto cycle. All right, Caitlin Penny pitting now. So Caitlin's in the pit. That's going to move Pilcher up into second place. What else? Anybody else coming in? As Penny finds herself coming out now in 7th. So from 2nd to 7th. Her first pit stop, and it looks like she is again on the optional soft red tire. Meanwhile, we're talking LaBelle, a little bit of a battle going on here for a 9th place. See, LaBelle gets a little bit tricky there, gets a little bit 9th and 10th. We are watching now. And it looks like the spot it's been taken there. It looks like Kirkman gets that 9th place away from LaBelle. I don't know if LaBelle just went wide or just wanted to release some of the pressure. Maybe LaBelle's tires are going and he really doesn't want to crash trying to defend and just lets Burton through. We got Penny and Sumner's ahead here. Penny out of the pit stops from 2nd place. Is now challenging Ben Summers for 6th position. As we see another car going into the pits, and that is Ed Jones. So Jones is pitting from 5th. So that is going to put these guys as Penny goes to the inside and takes that spot away from the Dr. Pepper, Ben Summers. And Penny finds herself back in 5th place. And guess who's in front of her? Nick Westy right there in front by a little bit of a gap. So about a small straightaway away from Westy, as Westy is now closing in on Smythe. Here is Smythe currently in 3rd. So Smudge, I think he sees Westy in his mirrors there, and he's probably not too worried at the moment, but I think in about the next 45 seconds or so, he's going to have a mirror full of Westy as here he comes charging hard. Coming through Thunder Valley. He's third place just ahead there as he goes down a gear to hold that turn. Wow. All right, we are 57 minutes remaining. Wesley's trying to put on a challenge here. Closing that gap. Just about on him. He's going to catch him out of the carousel, I would imagine. It's going to be a race down that kettle bottom straight for the last step on the podium. And I do not believe that Smythe has pitted. Has he pitted? I can't remember. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's just gone around. Smythe has lost it right there in the carousel. Jacob Smythe has a moment, and perhaps on those older tires. It looks like he's on the primary tire, the white. So probably was sticking it out through this whole time and is probably due for some tires as Westy now finds himself back on the podium. And he is ahead of Caitlin Penny, who has also pitted. Both of these guys have pitted, although Westy pitted for damage. I don't know if perhaps Westy took fuel and tires during that pit stop. I would assume he did to keep him in a good spot. But let's see, Stefan Wyndham just lets the leader by. There is the 11th place car, Stefan Wyndham, with the leader, Matej, that's Skoblader, going through. So putting the 11th place car down a lap at this point in time. And now he is pitting indeed. So just as I figured, Smythe is in the pits for rubber. That moves Caitlin up, who is now behind Westy. So does Caitlin have to pay to catch Mr. Westy, who is on a mission and pretty much on fire? Is even Matej safe? Matej still has yet to pit. Now let's put this in perspective. If Westy's pitted already, and you can see that he's really not that far back in reality, a turn, a half a sector. I mean, what is a pit stop, right? So there's the difference between Penny and Westy. He's now in second place. And there is Matej. So you can see there's a couple of back markers in between them. But in reality, that might, if you look on the track map, you know, Westy's just now going through the carousel and Matej is in Canada corner. So he's a pretty big chunk behind. But is that a pit stop worth of time? We won't know until Matej pit. And I'm curious to see, will this be the lap? Leaving it here, and nope, he's going around again. Okay, so Penny fires well, 4th and 5th. John Vanderkees quietly having himself a great race here, finds himself in 4th place, but it looks like Philip Pilcher has plans for also trying to get that 4th position. Looks like Pilcher's got a little bit of emotion there. Able to stay with him pretty good. This is fresh, crucial turn 14 here. Super crucial to be able to get through there. I can't tell. Is Vanderkees on the primary tire, not the option? So Vanderkees is on the harder tire. That might be why Pilcher is able to catch him, but will he be able to sustain Vandergeest probably has plans of a long stint, but Pilcher is right there with him. He has actually caught him. And we are in for some racing coming down the hill here. He's looking at the inside, and Vandergeest goes to the outside and just does not put up a fight. Probably wisely so. As he tries to come back on the inside, his Pilcher gets it a little bit wrong, and Vandergeest trying to stay with him, but realizing that he is on the harder compound. He probably just wants to live for another day and wait for those tires to wear down. He might have another opportunity later on to get that spot back from Pilcher, who has a brilliant race going on, finding himself in 4th place now. So meanwhile, let's see what's going on with Penny and Westy. Is Westy keeping that gap? It looks like it has grown. So I think Mr. Westy is probably safe to hold that spot. But then our leader has not fitted, so he's got to be getting ready, as he's got some 38 minutes or so on those tires. All right, so Vandergeest conceding that 4th spot, hitting his marks. He's on a mission. He's probably got a plan on that primary tire. Meanwhile, Smythe still in it, currently in 6th place, all by himself. As the 2nd place, Nick Westy's running into some traffic. Excuse me, coming up on the 10th place car of a LaBelle. So Westy looking to get around. Really want to keep our eye on Chad for his pit stop. But I also want to go down to all the cars. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 7 cars out. Jills is now the 7th car out. Silva has retired the car. So we got 11 back in this race. So let's keep an eye on this. That's probably, nope, still not pitting. All right. Westy's got through LaBelle. And Westy's still about just a little bit more than the straightaway away from Bataj there. You can see it. He's just coming up the hill now. Bataj is making it into turn 2. So that's quite the gap to make up in 50 minutes of racing. But I think a pit stop might make the difference. So let's come up from the back. We've got Stephen Winham currently in 11th place. Just ahead of him in 10th is LaBelle. And then Dr. Pepper Ben Summers in 9th. Ed Jones, after the pit stop, finds himself in 8th. So again, remaining in the top 10 after his starting at the back of the field. Then Ertain, who was really putting some pressure on in the beginning, is comfortably in 7th with Jacob Smythe just ahead here. Smythe crosses the line. And then we have Philip Pilcher in 4th. Caitlin Penny in 3rd. And then Nick Westy right there in 2nd place. And somewhere in the distant future, far ahead, is Matesh. Oh no, I saw a little bit of yellow. I think it was the 5th place car of Jacob Smythe. Passing off. Got a yellow, but it looks like he's got all his facilities there. So perhaps he is in okay shape. Not needing a pit stop. So the survivor, yet we're looking for battles. 5th and 6th. Excuse me. So Ertan currently in 6th. He's got Smythe just ahead of him there. So these are the closest two on track. And I want to tell you guys that the fastest lap of the race was set by Costas Katazoris, a 47.2, and it's yet to be best yet. So I'm assuming as fuel runs down and the clock is ticking away, we are going to see the fastest lap come up. As we focus in on Penny here. And she has a little bit of lap traffic in front of her here. That is the 10th place car of Marco Labelle. So, navigate her way around that. Still Matag, yet to pit that we have witnessed anyway. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. I could have missed it. And the software is, let's say it's less than ideal. And it looks like, could this be the lap? And no, he says, my soft tires, maybe he did pit and we missed it. Or what happened to him there? Oh, we got a server glitch. It's showing everybody DNF for the minute, except for Sumners. Just wait for it to come back. We're having a server glitch. Come on back. Come on back, everybody. Don't tell me RF2 just kicked everybody. This happened before. It's showing 2 cars left on the server. Summers and Vandergeest. There is John. Let's hope it comes back. Wow. Oh, man. Come on, everybody. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. Could we be witnessing RF2 things? Sometimes this happens and everybody comes back, but it could be a tragedy with 46 minutes remaining. There's only 2 cars left on the server at this point in time. Okay, they're slowly coming back, slowly coming back. All right, it's showing them in the pits. They're coming back, but they're in the pits. So that's telling me that there was a disconnect. So the server must have dumped. So Smythe is back. Sumner's is back. Or never left. Escobar's back. Westy's back. Pilcher's back. Man. RF2 things. Well, you know, there's no mechanical failures in online racing, but there are electrical connection failures. And that is what we have all just witnessed here. Let's hope some of these other guys, we need Penny to come back. It looks like Smythe is back. We need Ed Jones to come back. Okay, Penny's back. Kerdog is back. Jones is still not back. And LaBelle is still not back. All right, Kerdog is back. Kerdog. Well, due to that mishap, it's going to put Sumners in front and Vandergeest in second. Okay, Penny is back and in the pits. Let's hope she can get out and get back on track. Wow. All right. So Penny's back on track. And it looks like that Wenham's parking it, LaBelle's out. That was Kerdog. I can never get your name right. I'm so sorry. So they're slowly coming back. Jones is still not back. So it looks like Summers showing himself in first place, and Vanderkees, as the clouds are moving in, we might be having some weather for the back half of this race. But there's kind of a dark cloud on this race now anyway, due to the fact that it all went to hell in a handbasket. Man, that really sucks. It was like a server purge. So we will have to see what happened with this race. Ed Jones, who was having a great race, has not made it back on yet. Urton's back in. So we got Sumner's showing in the front, Vanderkees showing in second, Penny in third. Bataj now showing in fourth, who was leading by a country mile. Westy in fifth. Mike in sixth. Pilcher in seventh. And Penny's showing in eighth, but will be in seventh once she gets around. There it is, seventh place, due to the Ed Jones not making it back yet. As they get their way around, that is where we're at. So here we have Summers with the third place car of Bataj getting around, who we know had the pace as he was leading this race. Well, all I can say is there was no conquerors, only survivors. And now LaBelle, so Stefan Wenham is in, but showing some guys DNF still that hopefully can get back in and finish this race. I mean, there's still 41 minutes left. Anything can happen, but it's kind of like puts the old twist of fate on this race. The R Factor 2 gods have spoken. And we can't really blame it on R Factor 2. It could have been a server issue. We all rely on these remote servers, and perhaps our server had a glitch. Maybe somebody cut another underground fiber optic line in the North Sea or some crazy business. Who knows? Everything had to reroute. It's out of our hands. It's out of our control. All I know is we've got some rugged individuals left on track, and we're racing to the end, for crying out loud. Vanderkees showing there just behind Summers, our new first and second place cars. As we are hitting the 40-minute mark. The Scobbler got that pace going in third place. I'm gonna check something out here. So there you see how many stops they've had and positions gained so far, but then all the guys that disconnected are showing zeros for everything. As you can see there on that board. Wow. So the stops really don't do us any good, I don't think, at this point in time. Positions gained and gap to next. Gap to the leader. He's showing third place as a lap down after the disconnect, and then everybody behind them are pretty much on the same lap. So those two guys that stayed in, Summers and Vandergeest, really gained that advantage. Okay, back to the track map. I have to turn the track map off to go into the other screen. Otherwise, it'll cascade a shower of mirrored images of my OSB software. So that's why the track map was gone there for a minute. Okay, so here we are. 37 minutes to go. Bataj still showing as a lap down. But Westy's some 13 seconds back of him. But showing 2 laps down. So is he even a lap down to Bataj? I don't know. By this point, it's just all spaghetti pudding. And it's every man for themselves out there. Wenham, although he's back in the race, is showing him 6 laps down due to the disconnect, I'm sure. And LaBelle and Jones never made it back, so in a couple of laps, Wenham will move up into that spot. I think he will be 9th. As Ayrton is in 8th. So, well, might as well try and have some fun with views while we're here. Okay, Ayrton's coming into the pits. Philip Pilcher trying to see if anybody is close to anybody. There is the Dr. Pepper livery leader, Ben Summers. Second place, Vandergeest. After the alien abduction. Third place, Bataj, but a lap back in the standings. Let's just check out some of the views here of Bataj after surviving his horrific disconnect. How you doing, Bataj? Some RF2's views. Left side, the right side. I like how the sound follows it too. Pretty cool stuff. Look at how smooth he is. It's just so good. Hitting all his exits just right. See, there's not a lot on the 1v1 battle, so let's go to the driver's box and check all the car data. We can watch some inputs and such. As he loses it, there it goes. The once upon a time leader getting a little bit wrong there. Getting around that turn too. That drops in pretty tight there. You get that little bit of a short break of high speed. And then you're hard on the brakes again down at the bottom of the hill here. Then just a quick couple of shifts and then back down on the gears for this lefty that is tight. And then you can hit this one here pretty much wide open in your jaw. That's a pretty good turn to hit. And then you're back hard on the brakes here. Cutting that inside, but God, he's just got such good moves going through there. A little feathering of the throttle just to keep it in the slot, and then back on it. Nicely done, Mataj. All right, so there, Stephen Wenham has taken that ninth spot now. So let's find Caitlin. Let's follow along with Caitlin and watch her inputs a little bit here. Fourth gear, fifth gear, a little bit of braking. Hitting about 174, 175, 177, almost 178 down the hill there. Those are miles per hour, I believe. Could be 200 something kilometers, right? Or maybe those were km, I don't know. Seems pretty quick for that part of the track. But it does say miles per hour right under it, so, you know, we are broadcasting from the U.S., so we have our crazy system that makes no sense. What I really find confusing is the temperatures. I like how you guys, the Euros, do temperatures. I mean, it's either 0 or, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the States, no, 0, you know, freezing is like 32. What? So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But it is what it is. See how far she gets, 175, 76, 78. That was her top speed into that section. Makes it through Thunder Valley. This truck just turned 14. Oh, she gets it wrong. She's in the grass. That's all it takes. And boom. There goes the bumper. Or the wing. I'm sorry. Well, that was fun, Caitlin. While it lasted. How about Freddie? Let's check out Freddie's inputs. I mean, Jacob. Why do I keep calling Jacob Freddie and Freddie Jacob? Freddie's long gone. He was the first one out. I'm really sorry, Mr. Smythe. At least I got the last name right. I was instructed by the team boss, Randy Marek, that it is pronounced Smythe, and he used the word E-Y-E in between S-E-Y-E-T-H. Smythe. So, hopefully I haven't butchered your name too much. All right, let's see what kind of speed we can get up the hill here. .181, 182. So down the main straight. Pretty good speed, Jacob. As we are at the 30-minute mark. All right, let's compare the downhill speed to Caitlin's, which was what, 176? He's at that already, 177, 79, so 79, a couple miles per hour faster down that section than Penny was. Oh, and there's a little bit too much, a little bit of enthusiasm going to that. Keep it off the walls, Jacob. There you go. All right, live to see another day. So Smythe is parked right there waiting for traffic. Taj again. So we're still yet to see a faster lap than Contosaurus' 147.2, which was like the first 5 laps of the race. So there's some good top speed there by Costas as well. Or Mataj, I'm sorry. Wow, this is the thing. I'm as screwed up as R Factor 2 today with all these names getting dropped. And with that said, Smythe has retired after that. Or disconnected again as Penny's coming in. Yep, Penny's in for yet another stop for some odd reason. You think if they just came back in the game, they would have fresh stuff. There is the leader, inheriting 16 spots due to the glitches in the universe. So hopefully Penny's just in for a routine stop, or perhaps is going to get some fresh rubber and try to get that fastest lap. I believe the fastest lap is worth a point. We're looking forward to next weekend, Saturday's LMU race. It'll be the premier race for LMU here at Sim Racing Online. It will be live broadcast, and it does have fastest lap points for qualifying and in race, as well as a points scheme that is GT style points. We'll be racing the GT class cars, so looking forward to that. That'll be our first broadcast of the Modern Sim. We can watch LMU just eat up and destroy systems as we go. If it does really good if you've got a modern system with a 4 series card, but you gotta do a little bit of tuning to get that game to run good if you're on a just a few years older system. But man, it's really worth it if you can get the upgrades. I personally am lucky enough to have it on a 4090, and it's just beautiful in 4K with 100 plus frames, with everything maxed out. It's just a gorgeous sim. So I'm really excited to broadcast that. I'll be broadcasting at 1440, which I am as well here in our factory at 1440. So we got some glitches here and there, and a little bit of decay as the network signal kind of comes and goes a little bit. It fluctuates. You can see some pixels here and there, but overall, it's really nice to be able to broadcast higher reses. All right, second place, Vandergeest. He's within a couple of turns now. So it'd be great to have some kind of a photo finish as we're coming up on 25 minutes here. Just 25 minutes plus 60 some odd seconds. Checking some inputs there. Whoops. See, that's what happens when I leave the track map on. How you doing? Welcome to the mirrored world of OBS. That was, yeah. These are not the droids you're looking for. So let's see, I'll try that again. So that should turn off the overlay. There we go. So now I'm back on the OBS screen, as you guys have no clue. But to run the Tiny Pedal track live track map, you have to use a screen capture, not a game capture, which captures everything. It's display capture. The only way you can get the overlays to show. So I can't see the Art Vector 2 overlays unless I'm in OBS, which I am right now, so I can actually see that he was not quite as fast down the straight as was a Das Gobbler. But I don't have those numbers on my main screen that I broadcast from when I have Tiny Pedal up, which I'm going to switch back to now, because it's cool for you guys to be able to see that live track map. And that sucker is live without any lag or delay, so it shows you what's up right on the spot. But I found running the game panels and the overlays, if you run them via a web link rather than on screen, I don't get any of that terrible stops and pauses that were in all my other broadcasts from all last year. So really big hand and thank you to Woody, Neil Wood, for helping me out with showing me the who's and what's and whys for OBS, and also supplying all these great overlays that show the scores and the track maps and all that stuff. All that stuff is coming from Woody with his expertise with those files and being able to edit that stuff and send it over to me. I really appreciate that. And you can catch some of his handiwork on his own Twitch channel, Woody TV. Also, he is broadcasting our Sunday Porsche races. That is a really fun series, and a relatively new mod. And that is the where is it here? For it. So February 15th, we got the LMGTE with the LMU series, and then it's the Porsche 935/K3 series, and that'll be the very next day, February 16th, starting at looks like it's 11:15 my time, 18:15 GMT, and that is broadcast on Woody's Twitch, Woody TV channel. Really good stuff there. All right, who else do we want to look at here? Let's check out Philip. There's Pilcher finding himself in 5th place after the alien abduction. Stephen Winham is alive on track in 7th, but he has to get around a couple laps to catch up to where Jacob Smythe was before he disconnected. And Smythe will inherit 9th place and will finish in 9th place. Caitlin Penny's in 7th. There she is, and here is Stephen Winham, just behind Penny, but down a lap. Actually down 6 laps to the leaders. So let's see, Vandergeest is some 6-second gap back on Summers. And we still don't have a fastest lap that's any faster than Costas's. So I was thinking Westy might be able to get that fast lap, but Westy is 2 laps down from the leaders. And I think he's even a couple laps down from Mataj at this point in time. It's hard to say, but man, it's really unfortunate when the software glitch or a network glitch has an effect. As you can see, Summers is pitting from the lead, and that's going to put Vandergeest in 1st place. So Summers is in the 5th. Vandergeest has inherited 1st, and he's got the 3rd place Mataj, who has pretty much outpaced most of the field coming up on Vandergeest. So could he get a lap back right now? It's a chance for Mataj to get himself a lap back. As the skies are gray, and there he does indeed get a lap back. As Vandergeest, keep it off the grass, John. Keep that thing in one piece. All right, so for sector times there, you can see Mataj had a 39.6 and John had a 41.6. That last sector 1 exchange. So you can see the pace difference there. All right, Caitlin and Urtek, we have a race for position. This is for 6th and 7th. These guys are on the same lap. And Penny gets into the back and loses a wing. Oh my gosh. Code Brown. So, good heavens. Urtan. Philip. Penny. Oh, she's paying the price now. Oh, you're on the back stretch. You get that sucker into the pits. So Caitlin has found herself the center of attention for in today's race. So, man, when it rains it pours, I guess. But we caught that just in time. Hard to kind of see exactly what happened, but the nose of those cars are very fragile, as Caitlin is going to make it around and follow Urton into pit lane. So quick repairs for Caitlin to get back out there. Meanwhile, Pilcher in 5th place, some 2 laps off of the pace. And Summers is back out of the pit. Vandergeest is pitted. So the two leaders have swapped positions. So we got a little bit of action here. Maybe we will have something at the end here with about 18 and a half minutes remaining. Vandergeest, as you can see, has gone off of the primary tire onto the optional red softer tire. And we see Summers is also on that optional tire and out with some heat in his tires after a few laps ahead. So meanwhile, these two are in the pits and on the same lap. So these guys are going to be racing out of the pit. I'm assuming that the damage repair is going to make up the difference there. So we'll keep an eye on that because both those two should be coming out. And here indeed they do. So Ayrton gets out ahead. I figured he had less damage than Caitlin. Caitlin's still getting repairs there. So Ayrton comes out and takes that 6th place spot while Penny sits. Meanwhile, Vandergeest, man, that gap, that pit stop gap is a big player in this outcome of this altered dimension race due to the network connection issue. Nonetheless, it is a race, and here we are. Caitlin is still in the pits, so some major repair there for her car. Her pit crew probably busy at work. She stood patiently in the cockpit waiting for the thumbs up. So meanwhile, Mataj, looks like Mataj a lap down. It's going to be sitting in 3rd place as Westy could perhaps. Are these two on the same lap? I believe they are. Let's just have a look. We'll change back to the 1v1 battle here. So there it is, 6-second gap. So we might have a pretty good battle for the last step on the podium here. That would be most interesting. Barring any other crazy incidents. We know how fast Westy is. Is he indeed faster than Mataj, though? I think he might have had him by a few tenths there as an average lap. Although we got best laps are for Mataj. His best lap of the race so far is a 147.6, and Westy's best lap is a 148.2. So that would tell me that the pace Westy has is a little bit behind Scobler's. However, with just the 15 minutes left here, these guys could be like, let's go. They're in giddy-up mode, and just perhaps the fastest lap will get them a point. So Vandergeest has shortened that gap down to about 4.3 seconds now. And it was about 6 seconds, I believe. So let's see if John could do something, do some of that racing stuff. You can see him just ahead. The 7th place car of Caitlin Penny is back out of the pit and behind Vandergeest there now, but some 4 laps off of that lead lap, but still a decent finish. Anything in the top 10 will get you some decent points today. And like I said, there was no conquerors, only survivors today. Trying to see if Vandergeest, yep, you can see just ahead there is Ben Summers. So we might have ourselves a photo finish here with these let's call it the second chance for the win column here. These guys were like, fate has dealt them the cards to put them in a position to get a win here. Now that's according to all this holding up. I'm sure this race will be reviewed, and all of us Sim Racing Online admins will have to decide what happens here due to the disconnects and everything. In the past, I think this happened in round 1 where everybody disconnected. So, I mean, it's kind of the luck of the dice sometimes. But like I said before, we really don't have mechanical failures. Although a lot of sims offer it, you can turn them on, like AMS2 offers some mechanical failures. But in R Factor 2, they're limited. They do have them. You can overheat, you can blow up your engine and stuff. But the online angle is like just gotta leave it up to fate, I guess. Is that Scobbler? No, who is that? Is that Pilcher behind Vandergeest? No, I'm sorry. I already told you who it was. It's Penny. Do that. Let's just check it and see if you guys are paying attention. Penny, man, she has shown some brilliant driving skills today and had the worst luck ever. As she's going around John, let's keep it clean. She's in the grass. She's doing a little hedge trimming. And not your race, John. Don't even worry about it. Let her go. And perhaps let her get up there and mess around with Summers as we're closing in on the 12-minute mark. Anybody else? Everybody's pretty spread out. I'm just trying to keep us going here on the wherever there's any kind of action. Well, Westy all by himself in fourth. Pilcher in fifth. Summers in first. As Penny now closing in on the leader. This is where Vandergeest is hoping to throw a little bit of the cog in the spokes, a little bit of wrench in the spokes for Ben Summers. Driving the wheels off of that Dr. Pepper. And I believe Penny is going to get around and come down here. Summers be wise to just let her go as he does. So Caitlin gets a lap back. She's now 3 laps down. There's about 11 minutes remaining in this contest. But meanwhile, Vandergeest has closed that gap under 2 seconds. So it's race on here for this last 10 minutes. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think. So here we are at the 10-minute mark. This is the race for the lead right here. It looks like Vandergeest has a good run. He's coming up through Thunder Valley. This could be the exchange as they hit turn 14, and Summers gets it a little bit crazy, but so does John. As Vandergeest does take the advantage on those little bit, couple 3 laps fresher tires, or perhaps a little bit faster pace altogether. There we go with under 10 minutes to go. We got yet another lead change. Vandergeest showing some really good pace there. He's probably going to be able to run away at this point in time, which will end our competitive racing and announcing survival. Unless Ben has something for him, unless he saves something. And of course, Vandergeest still has to navigate his way through 8.5 minutes of treacherous 14 turns here at Road America. So anything can happen. So Vandergeest with a 149.1 as his fastest lap, and Summers' fastest lap is a 150.4. However, the last two laps are a little closer. Vandergeest on his last lap with a 150.3 and Summers with a 151.3. So that 1 second difference showed up, allowing for that pass. But let's see what Ben has. Ben might have something in the tank for him, as the gap is still under 2 seconds. If you can somehow just stay with him and get in the draft, put a little pressure on him. Meanwhile, we have some action back here, although it's not for position. The 6th place car and the 3rd place car. So Ertan catching up to Mataj. Up the hill with a Goodyear blimp. Yeah, you'll see that in most of the U.S. events. The Goodyear blimp is just about at every racing event held in the U.S. Well, that gap is starting to grow on Summers a little bit, 1.3. He's kind of hanging in there. Vandergeest has to just have perfect laps here. He wants to hold on to this, and we're coming up on just over 5 minutes remaining here as we tick through the 6-minute mark. All right, so who's left in this race? Well, let's find out. In 8th place here, we have Stefan Wenham. 7th place, Caitlin Penny, who now has set the fastest lap of this race, a 146.6. So, might be something left in there to get for Caitlin. She can grab that fastest lap point. Then in 6th place, we got her. Kerdog. His quickest lap is a 151. And Philip Pilcher in 5th place with a 148.9 as his quickest lap of the race. Currently lapping in the 150s. And then Mr. Westy. Quite an eventful race for Mr. Westy. All this stuff that's gone on, and he is in 4th place, which is a really good run. Somebody's in the pits. It is Stefan Wenham. So he's coming out now. Meanwhile, Westy's fastest lap is 148.2. And then we got Mataj here, whose fastest lap is 147.6. Currently in 3rd place, some a lap down. And then back to Ben Summers with a 150.48 is his fastest. 151.3 is last lap. Not showing any better than the lap before. But that gap to Vandergeest is up to 2 seconds now. So Vandergeest keeping that slight advantage. We are under 4 minutes now. What a crazy race this has been. He's got another second on that lap. So increasing his gap up into the mid 2s, almost 3 seconds now. So here comes Westy. Getting around, I think that's the 6th place car of IR18. Showing some of that pace. Perhaps try and steal that fastest lap away from Caitlin. And the leader, Vandergeest, whose lead continues to grow. The gap is 3.5 now. So he is just about 2 minutes away from a victory here. And this what might be considered a controversial race, but I mean, these things happen in sim racing. Same thing happened in round 1. Surfers Paradise, we had the glitch. And, you know, who knows what goes on inside the world of networking. It's something that is out of all of ours control. It just happens, though. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. All right, and there is a look at Ben just behind in that beautiful Dr. Pepper livery, Team Dr. Pepper. And 3rd place, Matej. A well-deserved podium for Matej after leading the race by about a mile on this 4.404 mile track after the mishap that Westy and Caitlin had in that first third of this race. Gave him that crazy gap. And then Westy hanging out in 4th place. Doing a good job coming back. These guys all had to come back from disconnects, repairs. They are truly conquerors. All right, we are under a minute to go here. Let's see, where is Vandergeest? I believe he's got about 48 seconds to go. He might hit the line for one more lap. Let's just follow along and see. Put it back to his driving. 30 seconds from turn 14. I think we're going to be in for one more lap. He heads up the hill to start the final lap. White flag. There is Summers just behind. Got to hold on for one more lap. There is Matej coming back into Canada corner. Let's get through the gate. Right. With IR18 in tow. Well, these guys are having a good little battle here, although it's not for position. As Westy lets her go through. Almost loses it. Oh, these guys, I wonder, the clock is out for these guys, but I do not think they still have to finish this lap. So. As Vandergeest is just coming out of, I believe he'd just be crossing the Sector 2, Sector 3 line just now, as he has entered the Sector 3 for the last time today. Come through Canada Corner and Thunder Valley for the last time here for round 3 of the 2025 IndyCar Championship at Sim Racing Online. Series 1 of the 4 Series World Series chase for the Cup at Sim Racing Online. And here he is, Today's round 3 winner, John Vandergeest, crosses the line and takes the checkered flag. Nicely done, Mr. Vandergeest. Followed by Summers of Dr. Pepper Racing, second place. Very nice. And the Scobbler coming through Sector 3, heading into Canada Corner, take third place. Summers and Vandergeest are backing it off. Here comes the final step of the podium as the Scobbler crosses the line here momentarily. Makes its way through that tight turn 14. There is your third place car. And where is Mr. Westy? Not too far behind to bring up fourth place. And just in front of him is Urten to take sixth. The Urten crosses in sixth. A lap behind. Here comes Westy. Take the checkered for fourth place. Pilcher right there will be taking fifth. As you can see the second place car on a cool down lap just behind him. So that's it. Anybody left out there that has not crossed the line yet, I believe this is the last car. So crazy race today. If any of you survived watching this entire race, congratulations to all of you. If you stuck through this thing. Really, really competitive, exciting stuff in the beginning, as there is your last place car. So we have for you, where is my order? Oh. There you have your top 10 right there, followed with your bottom 8. What a day, man. That was some crazy stuff. Hard to say what woulda, shoulda, coulda happened, but what did happen happened, and we all witnessed it. So with that said, let's have a look at the schedule for the next time. We will be at Laguna Seca in 2 weeks, February 23rd. So hopefully you guys could tune in and check out that action. We are going to have a serious debrief after this to see exactly what in the heck happened with the events of the disconnect and who had disconnects. And we saw some make it back, and it's most unfortunate that stuff happens, but it does happen, and hopefully it won't happen for the next race. And that's it for today. So thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys on the next one.